Hello everyone, this is Benjamin Ramirez. I'm going to try to make a video with someone and explain each move. So he did a standard e4 move, so e4, e5. I'm a little curious to see how. Alright, this is primarily explaining these moves. These are very standard opening basics. The Lopez. I enjoy playing this move a6. If he takes it, I usually take with the d pawn, which happened. It looks like my pawn is for free, but it's not. I'll show right now why. Right here, I do double attack against his knight and pawn. So, because of that, it wasn't actually a free pawn. So, see how it goes. He can either put his knight on f3 or on d3. Most people prefer f3. Okay. Now I can call it check and then take his queen, preventing him from castling, which I think I'm going to do because I can pin his knight to his king. Or I can pin it first and then, no, he can castle right now. So I'm going to do this first and call it check. If he moves his queen up, I'll trade. If he moves his king over, then yeah, I'm going to trade it. And then I'm going to pin his knight. I'm going to castle alongside. So normally with the Roy Lopez, you know how I moved to a6? It's better for him to move back to a4. Is the normal movement for that. And that's the reason why. So I can take the pawn. Right now, we're even in material. None of us really developed. All I did was prevent his castle. I can take the pawn on c2 if I wanted. I also can go to my bishop to e4, pinning his knight to his rook. If he moves his knight, I take his rook, forcing him to move it somewhere, but I'm not too sure if that's really good or not for me. Because I'm not 100% sure if that's good or not, I'm going to go for the pawn, because obviously you take a pawn, that's an extra piece, unless he can block me. If I take it, he can't block me off. So I'll do that. Okay. Now my pieces aren't very developed right now. He is a little bit more developed than mine. However, I think I'm in better position a little bit. But my position's not going to matter much if I don't do anything with it. So I'm going to... I don't see a way I can take advantage of this fully. I mean, I would put my bishop normally on d3, but he already can't castle because he already moved his king, so I don't need to do that. I'm going to castle, and then I'm just going to develop my pieces. I'm going to be very subtle right now. Just because I have, like, I feel like I have a slight advantage. Just because I feel that way doesn't mean I'm going to go crazy and try to do like all these attacks. I need to finish my development first and then go forth. And also, if you haven't noticed, he doesn't have a light square bishop, so my king is pretty much safe from a diagonal attack because he has no queen and no light square bishop. So I don't have to worry about any attacks at all from a diagonal. Normally you want pawns in front of your king to prevent certain attacks. In this case, I don't need to look at that kind of tactic. So it's his turn. I guess he sees the issue on f7. Now I can pin his knight, which I'm gonna do, to his king. I guess, yeah. Well, he successfully defended his knight temporarily, because if I do this, now his knight is trapped. So he attacked a little early. Yeah, whenever you attack, you need to look at tactics of how someone can defend. That's very important. And if they can defend in a way that makes your position better, then attack is worth it. If they can defend in a way that it makes your position worse, then... So I can take the knight now, or I can go to bishop to c5. I'm thinking about bishop c5 first. But actually, it doesn't really matter the order, because once I take his knight, he has to take my pawn back. So I'm going to do that, because it actually doesn't really matter. Unless he chooses not to take the pawn. And call it check. The reason why I'm doing this with my bishop is because I have two bishops here, and then my rook. And after I move my knight out the way, I have both my rooks. And I think I can probably put a lot of pressure on his king very soon. So I'm gonna try to take advantage of the fact that his king is by himself for the most part. Normally you worry about certain forks of pawns if your piece is like this, like for example d4. If he moves his pawn up to, it looks like it, but the reason why it won't work this time is because of my bishop. However, that's something that usually you have to watch out for and stuff like that, because that's a very common mistake for a lot of newer players. I sometimes make that mistake too. So now I'm thinking about going h. I was thinking about moving my knight out of the way so I can bring my rook in, but his rook is on that file. If I move my pawn to h5, he can't move his pawn down to g5 because I can take off my rook and call it check. I think that's the best way to get my rook involved, is by going here. I think that's the best way to get my rook involved. And he can't go down and call check because my bishop. And I got that covered. Otherwise, I would have covered that first. Not that check would really mean a lot in the situation, but if he could check it, it would prevent my knight from moving, or my rook, because the rook is defending the knight. It would kind of pin it, so you kind of want your pieces out there, mobility-wise. Alright. It looks like he might be going for a b4 push with his pawn. Right here. There's b2 to b4 to push my bishop. I don't see anything really that's gonna go with it. So I might just ignore it and go to h4, call it check, and then move my knight up so my other rook can get involved in the game. Now if I capture the pawn and he captures back with the pawn, no, I can't do anything after that. I should move my h rook to d8. So I'm gonna call check first, and I'm thinking about moving my knight to f6 so I can bring my rook out to join in the attack. All right, he went that way. I'm going to not go on f6 with my knight. I thought he was gonna go in the corner more. Right now, it looks like I can move my knight to h6, which is a little weird, or knight to e7. Knight to e7 looks more natural. I'm gonna do that. I want to get my other rook involved. Okay, I thought he would do that at some point. So do I want to go to f8 now, call check? I might move my bishop to c4. I like the idea of, d4. I like the idea of taking his knight because my other bishop can't really come into attack because his knight's blocking my bishop from going to e4. I want to take all the diagonals if I can. Wait, it'd be better if I go to d4, then move my knight over to d5, attacking his knight. And then I have both my bishops on diagonals. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to threaten his knight. And then move my knight to d5 and possibly capturing his knight. I see it should be very easy to checkmate him with both my bishops. I'll look at that later. Right now he's down in material, he's kind of exposed. I don't really see a good defense. I would probably just move my bishop to b2 here, only to connect the rooks, which is a good idea. But he does not like my bishop there. Good reason. I'm actually planning to try to checkmate him with my bishop and rook. So I'm going to move this bishop back one, and it keeps the position the same. Except his rook is in a different square now. So now his rook can't get involved. I hope this video is helpful. It's mainly just for him, but if anyone watches, that's fine. I want to look at some ideas and stuff about why I did my moves. That way he can review it for himself, and maybe it can help him somewhat. And then after a while, when he does start getting better and does start to play a lot better towards me, then it'll probably help my game as well, since I'm not super high. But I do enjoy chess, and I do want to help teach people who, when I can. So, alright. Now, my plan, I can take that rook for free. If I move my rook to f8, call check. So I'm going to do that. I know my plan is to try to checkmate him, but if I have free material, there's no reason not to take it. His king only has one space to move, which is g2, I believe. I don't see any other places he can go, and that's going to be check. Okay. I would like to move my bishop there, but nope, I can do checkmate right now. I was focused on the knight and the bishop with the checkmate, but that free rook made it very faster. So, all right, that was a good game. I'm gonna end the video, and I'll send him something. I'm gonna do to analyze this app and send it to him, see if he likes it. All right, well, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get updates.